One quarter complete from Logan, Utah. An intriguing matchup between the Rams and the Aggies here. Mountain West Conference opener between these two. Both coming off 10-win bowl seasons last year and trying to start the conference season 1-0. Couple field goals as Nick Stevens and Kent Myers have engineered drives so far, and Myers has been good, but Stevens has him knocking on the door again from the 34-yard line. They hand it off to Dawkins straight ahead. Dalen Dawkins breaks one tackle, and then he's down to the 30-yard line. 4-yard pickup. Nick Vigil, the top tackler in the Mountain West, on the play.
Well, Mike Bobo talked about Dawkins. He's a small guy, 5'9", 175, my size guy, but he runs so hard between the tackles like you just saw.
And here's Dawkins again, and this time he's tripped up. That was Siwa Taufa. Now, it is third down coming up. The Rams have a lot of ways they run the football.
And that's one of the dynamics reason of having a back like Dawkins and Odom. You can run inside, you can run outside, you can run counters, you can run receiver screens. They do it a lot of different ways of getting the ball out. Right now, look for a play to the upper part of your screen. It's going to probably be a quick out.
4-receiver look. Play clock winding down, and they're not going to get this play off. And they're going to call a timeout before the play clock expired, looking at a 3rd and 6.
This is the hard part about the spread offense looking to the sideline for the play. The offensive coordinator thinks he sees something. The defense then adjusts, and that's what this defense does. And the coaches know, the Utah State defense, what you see in the beginning isn't necessarily what it's going to be once the ball is snapped. So then they're trying to make sure they get the right play in, and in doing so, the time runs out. Got to give it to the coaches being smart enough to call that timeout, not losing that extra 5 yards to make it 3rd and 11 versus 3rd and 6.
Now, Mike Bobo played quarterback at Georgia. He puts a lot on Nick Stevens and these Rams quarterbacks with their system. They've different formations, a lot of things the linemen are seeing this year they didn't see last year under Jim McElvain. But they believe they can be effective. And in the blueprint of Georgia, it's worked for the Bulldogs for many years.
Yeah, and that's what you need is that type of blueprint, especially coming to a program to make it successful.
Well, you can tell here on the west side of the stadium the renovation is underway, and they expect to be completed by the start of next football season. We're going to talk to the athletic director of Utah State, John Hartwell, at halftime about it. But they're excited about it. We're on the east side, normally on the west side in the past. And it's underway, and it's going to be beautiful when they wrap it all up.
All right, look for a play change. I look for Utah State to bring some pressure. A blitz coming. You can see right now Nick Stevens starting to point guys out, trying to make sure he gets the offensive line set up in the right place.
Higgins is split bottom of the screen as they send Hansley in motion. Fires it left side, and it is caught. Hauled in by Xavier Williams, a sophomore, for a first down at the Aggies' 15-yard line.
Had a feeling they were going to go to the top of the screen, and that's what they did with Xavier Williams, 6'4", 215, running a corner route. See the safety coming in there, trying to knock it off, and Marwin Evans, but that's just the receiver already beat him there, walls him off, catches it with his body, and Marwin's maybe a little shaken up the way he came down on that ground. But great play call. They knew the blitz was coming. They knew the pressure was there. The receiver ran the route and got the ball out.
Evans will check off the field after that 15-yard pickup. Great catch by Williams, who they think could be special. Maturing, just a sophomore out of San Diego. First down at the 15, the Rams trying to grab the lead here.
Look for a run play.
Stevens will hand it off, and nothing doing. David Mawala shutting down Dalen Dawkins.
This Colorado State offensive line is reshaped, and Mawala is just taking advantage of it. You can see right there, he holds his position. The offensive lineman, Jake Bennett, has no shot of getting a block on him, and that's what this defense is about. When you run a 3-4, you need your nose guards, your D tackles to eat up blocks, to eat up space, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. If we're talking about line of scrimmage battle, Utah State's defensive line is winning that battle right now.
He's got three brothers that have played college football. Mawala on second down now. Stevens over the middle, has a man. It's caught for the touchdown by Higgins. The All-American found some room underneath as he hauls it in, and the Rams in front 9-3.
That's a situation where Connor Feckrell was in coverage, and that's tough when you're a linebacker having to cover a receiver in space. You can see the left side of your screen, he's not there. He pops in because at that last second, you see Feckrell's right there behind him. And who are we talking about? Rashard Higgins. That's a matchup that Rashard Higgins will win every time.
4 touchdown catch this season for Higgins, one of the top receivers in college football. Consensus All-American a year ago, coming off a foot injury. He's getting more healthy as the season wears on, and that is good news for Colorado State. So the Rams have the first touchdown of this one. Stevens to Higgins, and they're on front on the road in Logan. (10-3) the Rams lead at Nick Stevens with his Mountain West leading 10th touchdown pass. He finds Higgins over the middle.
Yeah, you're going to see right here, Feckrell's in the slot. There's Higgins on top. He knows he has the flat, but when they run out the zone, that makes it tough for any linebacker to cover a receiver like Higgins. Good play ball call by Colorado State, catching Utah State one a few times that they decided to go zone and not bring pressure.
16-yard strike as the Rams will kick it away with Braxton Davis. Lawan Hunt and Jalen Davis, the twin safeties, back for the Aggies. Homecoming here in Logan, and a good battle between these two teams coming off 10-win seasons a year ago. Here's Hunter Sharp on the return, and he's gobbled up at the 15-yard line. Tackle made by Deontay Clyburn. So the scoring drive for Colorado State, 7 plays and 46 yards, and again mixing run and pass effectively.
Both these teams have been balanced, and when you look at this, there was 4 runs, 3 passes on that last drive. Now what Utah State has to do is, because offensively the penalty that forced that type of situation that gave the good field position, they have to see if they can respond. They need to come out, be consistent on this drive, most importantly not have any penalties to stop their drive.
Myers from the 16-yard line will go to work, and a flag is thrown as he keeps it off the right side. Myers to the 24-yard line. And they'll have a decision to make here. It's offsides, or do you take the gain by Myers?
Looks like there might have been a second flag at the end of that, but maybe not.
Offside. Defense, number 9, lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty's declined. Second down.
Martavius Foster, the senior end, but they'll take the play instead. So instead of 1st and 5, it'll be 2nd and 2 for the Aggies.
Look at this bunch set. They might do a bubble screen.
3-receiver look. Here's Myers on the keeper, has a blocker in front, look out! Myers to midfield! And he's finally out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Giving chase was Kevin Davis, but Myers showing that escapability, and he has a burst on the perimeter.
That might have been a check right at the end of that play. You saw him move the running back, Lawan Hunt, to his right side, and then he does the play action run, and then he keeps the ball himself, does a good job of setting up that block, and then gets out of bounds to protect himself.
And he'll get a breather here as they'll bring in Damian Hobbs, the sophomore, after the big gainer down to the 42-yard line.
I would look for a run on this play again.
Hobbs wants to put it in the air. Has some time. Hobbs with the deep ball. Has a man open downfield. Sharp. He's got it. Touchdown Aggies. 42 yards for the score. Myers came back in for Hobbs, and he delivered the strike.
Damian Hobbs does a good job. Everybody was thinking run. I thought run too when you bring a quarterback in fresh like that. And he throws the ball deep. Hobbs surprises everybody, gets behind the defense. In doing so, the defensive backs are scrambling and running and looking. Don't have a chance to come back to the ball. And then Hunter Sharp does the rest, goes up, gets that ball at the highest points, ties this game up.
Myers came back in for Hobbs, who was going to come out there after the long run. And the extra point is good from Brock Warren. And a big play for the Utah State offense to draw even here.
That's what's huge about it. And when I said look for the run, 9 times out of 10, when you bring a fresh quarterback in, you don't want to have him throw that immediate play. You want to give him a run or something. And I guarantee you that's what Colorado State was thinking themselves. Excellent play call by Matt Wells to take that ball over the top. You got a defense on the heels. You just had a big play, and then you follow it with another big play. These defenses are so evenly matched, it's going to take dynamic situations like that to really loosen things up so that your guys can make plays.
As you look at the scoring drive, and having Hunter Sharp back is huge. That's his first touchdown catch this year. He led the team with 7 touchdown grabs a year ago. Big play guy, great ball skills, and you could see it on that play.
And Coach Wells talked about this is the healthiest they've been since the start of camp. They had a bye week. They're 5-0 after bye weeks. They're able to get guys healthy, to work on some things, to dial some things up. But nothing beats rest. And when you have rest, you come out, you have fresh legs. And I think that's what you're seeing right now out of Utah State, taking advantage of that.
Jake Thompson to kick it away. And it's Deontay Gaines out of the end zone for Colorado State, trying to create some running room. Nothing there as he's shut down at the 18-yard line. DeShane Hines on the tackle for the Aggies. So a couple explosive plays here in the second quarter, and a good drive by Stevens and company last series, and they'll start this series from the 18-yard line.
They sure will have. He's done a good job of protecting the ball, finding the open receivers. A couple of errant throws, but there's also pressure that forced that. He's done everything that they've asked him to do. I think on this drive, what's more important for Nick Stevens is to make sure that they can continue this drive. If not score, at least get across the 50.
High formation look, a couple receivers to the left, and they'll run it off the right side. It's Oden Jr., and he moves forward for 3 yards as they'll mark it just across the 22-yard line. Not S.A. Toto Schuster on the tackle.
You see right now, looking to the sideline, trying to figure out what play they want to do. It's all about alignment, what they think they see the defense in and the positions they get in. Watch out for Fackrell on the top of the screen.
On 2nd and 7, Stevens to the near sideline. There's Higgins. He has the first down grab, and he's out of bounds at the 36. He has so much ability. It's hard to really knock him for any negatives. They want him to be a better blocker this year, but you can see that he's a next-level talent.
Well, you're looking at a player that understands how to run routes. He runs up the field, shuts it down, makes the corner slip, great hands, catches it away from his body. He's 6'2", 190. He reminds me a lot of Green with the Cincinnati Bengals. Just one of those guys going to have a great career once he leaves college.
15-yard pickup. Here's Oden off the left side, and he's across the 41-yard line. Filiunga on the tackle. 3 catches, 36 yards, and a touchdown for Higgins. But they have run the ball 12 times, and this is where they want them. They want established run and then take some shots, but they got to worry about number 9. He's been a nemesis so far.
Sure has, and especially with this defense, the way they move people around. They got him out in space right now. Be curious if they run to the top side of the screen.
2nd and 6 from the 41. A yard, and that's about it. Filiunga was in the middle of things, and here comes a late flag. Moala and Filiunga really shut that down.
Personal foul, late hit, offense, number 32. 15 yards. 3rd down.
Nolan Peralta, the guilty party.
That's when your tight end cannot come in there. You can see right there at the last second, when a guy is down, you cannot do that. It doesn't matter if you're playing Pee-wee, Pop Warner, high school, college, or pro. If a guy is down, he's defenseless, you can't hit him.
Let's look at the 3rd down numbers so far, and this will be a tough one to pick up. 3rd and 21. They need to get it to the 47.
Utah State just needs to keep the play in front of them. Look for a draw or screen.
Oden Jr. gets some of the yardage back, and he's finally ridden down at the 33-yard line by Torrey Green, the fifth-year senior outside linebacker, and they'll force out the punt team.
Good stop by Utah State and assistance with the penalty that set them back. We saw that problem bit Utah State in the butt in the first quarter. Now that costly penalty, let's see if it hurts Colorado State in the second quarter.
Hunter Sharp standing back at the Aggies 15, awaiting the punt from Hayden Hunt, the 3-year starter. Hunt with a low liner, takes a hop at the 32. Up on it is Sharp with a good return up to the 34-yard line as he kept that one from bouncing inside the 20. 8:54 to go, first half. Much as expected. A good one here in Logan. We're all even at 10. .10 game here. You could argue this is the golden era for Utah State football. School record streak, 4 straight bowls, 3 straight wins. The senior class, 31 wins, as they have a lot of respect for Colorado State, a program also really riding the crest of that 10-win season a year ago. But both of these teams, blue-collar, physical. It's been that kind of game as the Aggies start this series from the 34-yard line.
I think they're going to start with the run because of that physicality when they got out there. They like to use a lot of 2 tight end sets. They're going to 2 back sets with Hunt and Mays back there. Look for a run.
Myers will hand it off, and it's Devontae Mays off the right side, breaking some tackles. A flag is down as he takes it up near midfield. Mays is a tough back at 220. Let's see if this will stand. 14-yard pickup.
Personal foul, chop block, offense, number 59, number 72, 15-yard penalty, replay first down.
We got 2 guys here. Austin Stevens, the center, is 59. 72, Tyshawn Mosley, the guard.
And usually in that type of situation, one guy's engaged up high, and somehow the other person went below the waist. That's how that happens every time. Look right here at the bottom of your screen. You see what happens right there. So because the defensive tackle went into Stevens, as Stevens held him up, Mosley should have looked at that, but he hit him, and that's what the easy call for the ref.
What a huge swing in field position, about 30 yards there as Hunt takes a shot but keeps his feet. And Hunt up to the 23-yard line. I don't know how he stayed upright there as he took a big shot from Preston Hodges.
That's the number one reason why you must wrap up as a defender. You're going to see you got a big back in Hunt, not a very big back, but because of his size and he's 5'9", 195, you have to wrap up. And Preston Hodges does not. Luckily that's not considered a helmet-to-helmet type situation. But you got to be smarter than that.
4-yard pickup, 2nd and 11 now to the near sideline, and that's knocked away. And here comes a penalty flag. In the secondary, near midfield, a flag was thrown. That was intended for Williams on the near sideline. And preliminary is this is against the Rams. Let's see how it plays out here.
Definitely don't want to give back big penalty yards.
Holding. Defense, number 24. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Hodges, the corner.
See, and that's tough. So Hodges doesn't come up and wrap up. They get a big penalty to send him back. Now they just gave him the first down. And that's hard to see. That was a good play right there by Matthews coming across. That wasn't what the penalty was later on down the field.
Automatic first down now. The Aggies from the 33-yard line. They'll run to the short side of the field with Mays. Mays puts his head down and he's hammered. Takes a big hit. Corey James is over there. Mays runs hard, and I know you've been there from a defensive back standpoint. Not a fun guy to tackle.
No, think of Jerome Bettis. When you're 5'11", 220 pounds, now Bettis was 240 pounds, but it makes it hard as a defender to come in there and wrap up because there's just so much girth. And then when you try to take him low, you get a knee to the head. So, I mean, it's a no-win situation.
He's averaging 6.7 yards per carry, picks up 3 there. On 2nd and 7, Mays gets the call again, and he's wrapped up. And that's a loss back to the 36-yard line. That was Steve O'Michael in the middle of things, the fifth-year senior. He has his degree. He's from Orlando, Florida. One of the veterans.
That's a blitz dialed up by Colorado State. They haven't done much of that today, but they said when they do need to, they will bring it, forcing a 3rd and long. Both these defenses are very successful today in 3rd and long, getting off the field.
Utah State 0 for 2 on 3rd downs, 3rd and 8 here. Sharp in motion, top of the screen now, and we've got whistles. Timeout, Aggies. So looking at a 3rd and 8 here, they'll talk it over with Matt Wells. They haven't taken a lot of shots deep, though. They did have a big play that ended up in a penalty on a pass play to Sharp early on in this game.
Right, you think about it. The first deep throw they threw was to Hunter Sharp when Kent Meyer scrambled around. His underneath throw was not there. He decided to take a shot. They got the penalty, got the 15 yards, led down to that first field goal. What has happened, both these teams, the shots that they've kind of taken down the field, they've done off play action. So I mentioned this before. I think it's important and crucial, especially as this game continues on, that you have to just drop back and take a stretch shot. You got to make that defense play honest, because as a defender, if I know you're not going to try to go deep so many times, I'm going to cheat up more. I'm not going to bite when you're doing an out route or a stutter and go, because I feel you're going to stay up there. So I think it's important that they start to do that. This is a crucial play, I think, right now. 6:30 left. They know that Colorado State gets the ball first in the second half. You want to at least get 3 if you can. If not, eat up more clock. Force them to go the distance of the field before the end of the half.
Well, after the big penalty on that pass play to Sharp, they went deep and found Sharp on a 42-yard pass play, but here they're expecting pass 3rd and 8. Myers, the Gildan New Mexico Bowl MVP, in place of the injured Chucky Keaton, has been very effective. Can they keep the drive going here? Steps up, gonna run with it. Can he get there? He cannot, as he's tackled at the 43-yard line. 42-yard line, a little bit short of first down, maybe about a yard shy. We'll see where they spot it.
This is a reason why both these defenses rank so high on 3rd down conversions nationally. Doesn't matter if it's Auburn, SEC, whatever. It's because the guys understand their assignments. They know they have a scrambling quarterback. They brought pressure, but the outside ends dropped back and fell into the lanes and were able to make that play to stop him from getting the first down.
Kyle Robinson, the sophomore, made the tackle as Joe Hansley awaits the punt from Aaron Dalton. Gets his kick away from the 32. It's a beauty. Hangs it up there over the head of Hansley, but it will find the end zone. And the Rams will have it on the touchback. 5:41 to go. 2 timeouts for Colorado State to work with in this 10-10 game.
Now, right now, if I'm Colorado State, I'm finding number 82. Try to get him a little bit more involved in this drive.
Hollywood Higgins is the guy you're talking about. 27 career touchdowns, a school record. And he'll be playing at the next level. The question is, will he be back for his senior year next year? There's a look at Stevens' numbers so far. The touchdown toss was to Higgins.
Look at the wide side of the field. They're going to look at matchups.
Higgins is top of the screen.
Yep, Higgins is top of the screen. And you see on the bottom of the screen, you got 2 receivers, 3 defenders. They're looking up top. They got the corner, the safety on top on Higgins. So what Stevens will do is he will drop back. He will take a look to see what the safety Marvin Evans does. If Marvin Evans stays on that side, that's going to kind of tell him that Higgins is being doubled. If he just rolls to the middle of the field, that's going to let him know that that corner's by himself on that side. He might run a slant route.
They're having a clock problem here, trying to get that rectified. 5:41 right now on the stadium clock. And a first down from the 20-yard line as Colorado State starts this series. You saw Higgins' numbers earlier, 3 catches. He had 10 grabs for 187 yards in the win against Utah State a year ago. Stevens going to keep it. Doesn't run often and does not run effectively there. Lucky to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Ian Tongiai was initially there, but Evans and Fackrell cleaned it up.
That's what you call defense beating you to the point of attack.
Stevens over the middle. And a low throw, and it's hauled in by Higgins for a pickup of 8. It'll set up a 3rd and short just across the 28-yard line.
Well, they're going no huddle, quick pace. They're bringing in switch receivers. Look for short yardage, guys. They're going to bring it in and probably try to get this done. And that last play was what they probably wish they would have did the play before when he ran. Defense gave him what they wanted. Higgins ran that slant route, and they were able to get those positive yards. Now they're 3rd and short. They're going to roll in the big boys.
This looks like a little bit over a yard is needed. They're 3 of 6 on 3rd downs. I formation. Mau's a fullback. They'll hand it off to Oden off the left side, and he has a 1st down as he burrows his way to the 31. Plenty of time on the clock for Colorado State. Filiunga on the tackle.
That's just what you want to do. Get that conversion. Slow it down a little bit. Make sure you got the right play. Utah State is going to have to try to dial some things up. They're getting good stops sometimes on 1st and 2nd down, but when they get 3rd and short, that's where it makes it easier for Colorado State to get the conversion.
Mike Bobo would love to have a lead going into halftime on the road. Single back, play action. Stevens throwing it near side, and it is busted up, and there's a flag. The pass was intended for Deontay Gaines, and Daniel Gray broke it up, and a flag comes in.
This would probably be the targeting rule. You're going to see the corner sitting in the flat. He knows the receiver's coming to his way, and he makes a hit. This is where the game has changed. Back when I played, that would not have been a penalty. But now, these days, they consider that a targeting rule.
Okay, they're taking a look at this.
Personal foul with targeting. Defense, number 1. That play is under further review.
Okay, they're going to review this. Daniel Gray, and here is the targeting rule.
So when you read it and you see those things, the key part is targeting of a defenseless opponent with the contact initially towards the head, neck area. So that's what they're going to be looking at to see if did he launch towards him at that point. It's a tough one. As you watch this, flags came down because it looks like that. We'll wait to see what the replay says. I just know as a DB, it's tougher to play in the game now because they want to protect the guys with concussions and everything else. It's clearly understandable. But that's hard for a defensive back. Do you go where you're going where the ball takes you? The only other option for a defensive player sometimes is to go where the hips are. So instead of going where the chest is, you come in and you tackle the receiver at the hip spot. So
now the review here, if it's overturned, you saw what we saw earlier. They overturned the 15-yard penalty and the ejection, but here is another look.
You can see, I don't think there's anything malicious in regards. I mean, it's a bang-bang play, but, according to the rule, so we have to wait to see what they say. Like I said, I feel for defensive backs the way the game is now. It's a bit tougher. Like I said, I understand it's for protection, but you can see his head wasn't going towards his head. His head was just going forward. It hit the shoulder pads, but we'll see what that happens.
And we understand they have confirmed it has been, hold on, here we go, we'll get the official call. Taking a very close look at this, our lead referee, Eddie Shelton.
And you don't want to, this type of game, Daniel Gray, he's come in, he's been instrumental for your nickel package and everything else that you do. You kind of don't want to lose a guy like that, especially at this point in time in the game. And it just made, like I said, it just makes it tough as a defender because your adrenaline is going so much. You're so hyped up. There's so many different things, but that's the key point right there. Targeting of a defenseless opponent with contact initiated to head, neck area. kind of one thing. Or targeting with a hit by the crown of the helmet. Doesn't look like, from what we saw, a crown hit was going, but we'll wait to see what they say. And I got to give it to the replay guys. It's tough for them. They're the ones that it comes down to.
When the officials are taking every look at this, taking their time, which is the right thing to do. This is a big call.
It's a big call. I personally, me, as I look at it, I would say in the film room, that's a good hit. But like I said, I come from an era that
you come from a different era.
All these things happen
in Kansas City and with the Cardinals and your time in the NFL.
Right, and so it's different now. And so again, and I don't fault it. You got to protect guys.
That's number one, the number one priority.
I think as this continues on, they're going to find a happy medium to make sure all of this works out right. Because as a young player, you don't want to take something away from a guy.
Here we go.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Number one, the targeting foul against number one. Number one has been disqualified. The ball will be placed on the 46-yard line. First down.
So Daniel Gray ejected for targeting.
And like we said, in that second passage, which I read and what you saw on the screen, that's kind of what they're looking at. They're looking at, see, like I said, didn't see the crown of the head part, which was the third one, but that's what makes it tough. A tight game like this, important game, your first conference game, you really don't want to lose a guy as a coach. But, you know, there's a motto, next man up. So now the next person up's going to have to step up and make a play.
From the 46-yard line now, there's an incomplete pass as Stevens tried to find Higgins over there. Pressure from David Mawala right up the gut. The nose guard was in his face at 2nd and 10. So no Gray now for Utah State. He was listed second on the depth chart behind Davis, but it takes one of your playmakers off the field now for Utah State.
And one other thing that happens, you can see, it also takes the air out of the room a little bit. So both these teams now, they've been sitting around for a little bit. Now they have to try to get their mojo back going.
2nd 10 for Stevens. Goes near side this time. Hansley the catch. Gets a couple yards. And he is knocked down. Tyler Floyd on the tackle. Interesting there, they would try two pass plays right down the line of scrimmage to opposite sides of the field.
Well, that was to the wide side. Again, when I mentioned about the spread, you're looking for numbers matchup. And so they saw what they thought was a good numbers matchup to the wide side of the field, threw the ball. Defense did a good job of rallying to it.
3rd and 9 now. Now Higgins is on the short side this time by his lonesome. He's the top target.
Fackrell coming.
Stevens stepping away from the pressure, fires downfield, got a man. It's caught, it's dropped. It looked like it was going to be hauled in by Olabisi Johnson. He was open, he couldn't hang on, and a break for the Aggies.
When you look at this top play, look at the pressure coming from Fackrell on top. Stevens does a good job of climbing the pocket, puts that ball up there, and this is a catch that just has to happen. I know you're falling down, tough situation, but that is a catch right there that they wish that they can have, that Johnson wishes he can have back. That would have been a huge playmaker because you took the blitz, you beat the blitz, and then you would have had a big play.
Hayden Hunt to punt it away now. 8th in the nation in punt average, and he hangs a spinner up there. Takes a Aggies hop, though, the other way, and it's down at the 39-yard line. Big break for Utah State as Hunt, with a strange punt, spiraled upwards, spun backwards. And Utah State with excellent field position when we come back. Mountain West Conference opener for Colorado State and Utah State. We're tied at 10 after a 14-yard punt off the foot of Hayden Hunt. Excellent field position for Utah State at the 39-yard line as they got a fortuitous hop, Jay. And they've got a chance to get some points here before the break.
Yeah, now they have an opportunity with good field position. They have to be thinking at least 3, if not 7. But it all starts with the first play. You got to get positive yards. You see they're lined up for a run. See if it turns out to be a pass.
Devontae Mays behind Kent Myers in the backfield. And they've gone with the two-back look quite a bit here in the first half as well. Lawan Hunt is also out there to his right. Little delay, handoff, Mays and he moves the pile up to the 44-yard line, close to 5 yards on that carry. And the tackle made by Trey Thomas, the strong side linebacker.
And that's how you want to start. Get positive yards on first down, then it opens up the playbook. Look for a pass to the wide side of the field, possibly this, but for Colorado State, they got to find a way to make sure they slow this down. They know the clock's on their side. I would like to see Utah State actually go a little faster on their tempo.
A couple timeouts for the Aggies to work with as Mays checks out on 2nd down and 4. Handoff to Hunt, straight ahead, maybe a yard, and that's it to the 45-yard line. He was cut down right at the line of scrimmage. He was lucky to get anything on the play.
Yeah, that kind of baffles me a little bit. You got to ask yourself, what is it you're trying to do? You don't want to turn around and give them the ball back with some time left, a chance for an opportunity to block a punt.
It's a good play made by Tyree Simmons, the cornerback there. So it's 3rd and 4 now. He sends Hunt in motion, and a quarterback keeper, Myers, to the 35. Myers to the 30, and he's finally tracked down at the 20-yard line. Huge pickup there, and the little delay was effective, and he exposed the seam. 35-yard pickup.
Running Hunt out of the backfield showed him exactly what he needed to see. Watch as the running back goes. He sees that. He knows they have to shift. It gives him the perfect option to be able to run that ball because the linebackers had to move to honor that running back motion. And in doing so, it created a seam, like I like to call parting of the Red Sea. He did a great job to get them down in field goal range now.
And that's a seasoned guy there showing why he was so good last year. 5-1 as a starter. Effective on that play. From the 21-yard line, now we have some movement. The Aggies jumping prematurely, the right side of that line.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's Jake Simonich, the right tackle.
And it's not his birthday today, so he shouldn't have done that. But you said it right, Trey. The right side has been costly a little bit, except for one penalty on the chop block between the center and guard on the left side. But that they have to stop these penalties. They're hurting themselves when they get positive yards to back it up with the penalty.
You see Myers' rushing numbers nearing the century mark. Wants to put it in the air this time. Now he's going to tuck it and run. Myers with room to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown Utah State. 26 yards for the go-ahead score.
What a play by Kent Myers. Watch the top of your screen. You're going to see the corner flash in right there, or linebacker, I'm sorry. Kyle Robinson, and when he does that, he does not keep contained. And in not keeping contained, that allowed Myers to get outside of him. There was nobody else there. Both these defenses know when you do your assignment, it's hard for a team to be successful. When you have a mental breakdown, that's when big plays happen, and Utah State took advantage of it.
35 and 26-yard runs on that drive as Warren tacks on the extra point, and it's 17-10 Aggies. Kent Myers' first start. Last year in the bowl game against UTEP, he ran for 70 yards. He's over 100 in this one.
Right, sorry, that was Trent Matthews. He came down there too quick, did not keep the contain, made it so easy for Kent Myers to do what he just did. As a defender, you always have to know if you are the outside contained. If you're outside contained, you must, and I repeat, you must turn it in. If you do not turn it in, this is what happens. It's an easy touchdown. And Myers, to his credit, did a great job, set the safety up, knew that was coming down, got outside, made a great play.
Myers has 124 of their 158 rushing yards, and they have done it better in terms of the spread scheme so far. Colorado State has had some success, but Myers has been the X factor. He's given them that little something extra, especially on this drive.
Well, this is something that Coach Bobo talked about. When you have a week off, there's little wrinkles that can come in. Well, technically, they haven't done much on the wrinkles because both these quarterbacks are the same type of quarterbacks. What you're seeing is why he went 5-1 last year. He protects the ball. He makes smart choices. And then he makes you pay when you don't do the right thing. And that's exactly what happened on that last play. And even a couple plays before that, he saw what the defense did, used his legs, when they were necessary.
And already a school record for quarterback rushing yards at Utah State, the 124 on the ground here in the first half for Myers, as that kickoff goes through the end zone from Thompson. And the Rams will have 56 seconds to work with. How many programs can bring in a guy as a backup? He's a bowl winner a year ago and can pick up right where Chucky Keaton left off. They're a tremendous thing to have.
And I credit Matt Wells, the head coach, with that, because when you start to develop a program, you start to get competitive guys coming in. There shouldn't be too much drop between your 1, your 2, and your 3, and that's what we're seeing.
Stevens on first down, finds Higgins, and he has space. Higgins out of bounds near the 40-yard line, a first down grab. The Rams have a couple timeouts to work with as they move the chains.
Colorado State knows they get the ball first in the second half, but they would like to really get down here and try to at least get some positive yards and points on the board.
Pick up a 15 on the catch by Higgins, his 5th catch of the game. Stevens in some trouble. He gets away from Vigil and then throws it away, and here comes a flag. I don't know how he escaped Nick Vigil there as he took a shot, and then the flag comes in after he delivered the football.
Nick Stevens has done a great job. He eluded Fackrell too.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 41. Head to the helmet of the quarterback. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Watch at the tail end of this. So as he comes in, you can see the pressure comes, and that's tough for a defender because the quarterback dips his head. Watch as he comes through. Watch as Nick comes through. He's running. He's looking at a spot, and then the quarterback dips his head. And when you're Nick Vigil, you're 6'2", and the quarterback is 6'3", that puts you about eye level.
First down to 45 now. Stevens over the middle, and Gaines leaps for it, and he grabs it at the 42. Pickup of, they're going to say an incomplete pass, or was it a catch? Catch made, completion to the 41, and a timeout Rams. 1 remaining.
Penalties is one of those things that's really hurt Utah State more than Colorado State this first half. And some of them they're hard to go in and tell your guys, don't do that. Holding, yes, you can do that. Chop blocking, you can work on that a little bit. Hits, it makes it very difficult. You see, it looks like he got his hands underneath that.
They ruled it a catch by Gaines as they have the football placed at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, he got his hands underneath that, secured it. So that makes it tough as Coach Wells when you go into halftime to discuss with your guys. You know, those kind of hits, there's not much you can say. The other stuff you can fix. Colorado State's only had the 1 or 2 costly penalties. But you can see right there, just definitely caught the ball. Held on to it even though he rolled over.
And it's 2nd and 6 for Colorado State. 35 seconds, the 1 timeout left. At least trying to get into field goal range here for Wyatt Bryan, who's already connected from 42. Stevens has some time in the flat, and it's dropped. Trying to get his running back Dawkins involved in the offense. Vigil was over there. It's 3rd down.
Just a little high for Dawkins there. You can see Stevens does a good job, just a little too hot on the touch. As a quarterback, you have to know when to put some sauce on it, when to take a little sauce off. That had maybe a little too much sauce.
3rd and 6. Pressure on the quarterback. Down goes Stevens. Fackrell got him. A flag is thrown. This could be a hold on the Rams, but Fackrell again creating all kinds of trouble for the Rams.
6'5", long arms.
There is no foul for holding on the play. Incomplete pass, 4th down.
Kyler Fackrell now 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hurries in this first half.
Watch this nice underneath move. Just reaches out. Good sack there. That's just a dynamic play by your dynamic player. Coach Bobo said, we got to watch out for this guy.
Yeah, he has 4 sacks already this season. The Mountain West preseason Defensive Player of the Year. And you can see why as the clock runs out here. And before, hold on, we have reached halftime. We have not reached halftime. A timeout was called 1 second on the clock. So we're going to stay here as they will have one final play, barring a penalty from midfield. So we remain here, and they have put 2 seconds on the clock here. Fourth down upcoming for Colorado State, and they're thinking here maybe let's take a shot at the end zone.
You have nothing to lose. We've seen already this year several teams do the BYU in particular 2 weeks in a row did a Hail Mary at the end of the game. So it's definitely a possibility. I think the one thing you just want to be careful about, both sides, don't get another penalty right now at the end of the game, at the end of the half that could happen. I look for Utah State, though, in Fackrell to put some pressure, not to allow him the time to throw that ball.
So fourth down from midfield as the Yankees have three players back near the goal line.
I take it back. You know who's in the middle of those three players? Fackrell. You got your 6'5" guy.
And here's Cameron Key, the redshirt freshman, his first snap at quarterback. Key rolling left, trying to buy some time. And down he goes at the 40-yard line. And that will end the first half as he was sacked by Ricky Ali'ifua, the junior. As we've reached halftime, 17-10 Utah State, well-played game, and the Aggies did some nice things offensively.
They sure did do some nice things offensively in this first half, and so when you're able to do that, that's a great way to end the first half. Now you got to make sure you come out and start strong in the second half.
Coming up, the Capital One halftime report from Logan, Utah.